Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating architectural and hospitality investigation. Our mission is actually pretty simple, but it's absolutely crucial. We're going to find out if one of the most visually famous Red Sea resorts truly lives up to its stunning online reputation. You know, you've probably seen the pictures floating around your feeds, those towering stone walls right against the crystal blue waters. But as your curious guide and objective hotel detective for the day, I really want to know if the actual guest experience matches that majestic facade. Let's find out.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a comprehensive roadmap for our deep dive today. First, we'll look at the Rose Gold Fortress. Then, rooms with a view. After that, pools, lagoons, and reefs. Next is a culinary world tour, followed by endless activities and entertainment, and we'll wrap it all up with the final honest verdict.
Just take a second to really let this view sink in. Honestly, look at the sheer scale of what we're dealing with here. Nestled beautifully along the Red Sea in the Sal Hashish area, the Pickalbatros Citadel Resort is visually striking from literally every single angle. The way the architecture just curves alongside the private harbor and those sprawling lagoons, it's nothing short of breathtaking. It really doesn't look like a standard hotel at all. It feels much more like an entire, self-contained coastal kingdom waiting to be explored.
Which brings us to the central question we really need to answer today. Is the reality as jaw-dropping as the Instagram shots? We live in an era where filters and clever angles can make just about any place look like an absolute paradise. So we're going to look at the hard facts, the specific amenities, and the verified guest experiences. We're putting on our hotel detective hats to totally separate the hype from the reality.
Section 1. The Rose Gold Fortress, Location and Design. When you look at the physical construction of this resort, it's genuinely a labor of architectural love. Located just 25 minutes south of the Hurghada International Airport, you're pretty much instantly transported into another world. The resort isn't just built on top of the cliffs, it's carved directly into the rose gold cliffs of the area. And here's a detail I find absolutely fascinating. The architecture is made from natural coral stone that was actually hand-chiseled from the nearby mountains. I mean, think about that physical effort. It creates this medieval fortress feel, but because it embraces a large marina, it completely captures the breezy, relaxed atmosphere of a Mediterranean village or the Amalfi Coast.
And this brilliantly illustrates the beautiful contrast in the resort's design. On one hand, you have these towering, majestic, castle-like stone archways that make you feel like literal royalty just having your morning coffee. On the other hand, you step right out into this sunny, vibrant marina cafe right on the water. It's like a European-style private harbor right in the middle of Egypt. It perfectly balances that heavy, impressive stone architecture with a really light, breezy coastal lifestyle. It's a fantastic contrast.
Moving on to Section 2. Rooms with a view. Inside the quarters.
552. I really want you to keep this massive number in mind because it highlights the sheer capacity and the incredible scale of the resort's luxurious units. Managing a property of this size while still maintaining a 5-star standard, that's a massive logistical undertaking, and it means there's a huge variety of accommodations to fit all sorts of different traveler needs. Breaking down those 552 units, you have a wealth of options to choose from. There are 328 standard rooms and 151 deluxe rooms. Now, for those wanting something extra special, there are 12 superior swim-up sea view rooms alongside 8 junior suites and 11 royal suites. If you're traveling with a crew or the kids, they offer 42 dedicated family rooms. But here is the absolute major perk, the thing that really stands out to me. There is no such thing as a bad view room here. No staring at a brick wall or a parking lot. Every single room features a guaranteed panoramic view of the Red Sea, complete with its own balcony or terrace. That is huge. And the design philosophy doesn't stop at the lobby either. Notice how that rose gold fortress theme seamlessly continues right into the bedrooms. The hand-chiseled coral stone actually makes up the interior walls of the rooms as well. It provides this highly unique aesthetic, earthy, luxurious, and completely distinct from your standard cookie-cutter hotel rooms with plain drywall and basic paint. It really makes you feel anchored in the environment.
Section 3. Pools, Lagoons, and Reefs. The Oasis.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer amount of private coastline you get access to. 1.6, we're talking 1.6 kilometers of private beach. To put that into perspective, that is an absolutely massive stretch of sand exclusively available to guests. It means that even when the resort is completely packed at its 552-room capacity, you are not going to be fighting shoulder to shoulder for a spot on the sand. You've got room to breathe.
The aquatic variety here is just staggering.
Let's start with the 3 man-made sea lagoons. These are absolute game changers, especially if you have young children, because they offer safe, calm, shallow entry right into the seawater without dealing with unpredictable waves. For the more adventurous folks, there's a private house reef right off the shore for world-class snorkeling. And hey, if you prefer freshwater over salt, the resort boasts 4 outdoor pools. 3 are dedicated for adults to ensure some quiet relaxation, and 1 is specifically for the kids. Plus, 2 of these pools are heated during the winter, making this a true year-round destination no matter when you decide to book.
Seriously, take a deep breath and just look at this. The breathtaking infinity pool blends so perfectly with the Red Sea horizon that it's kind of hard to tell where the pool ends and the actual ocean begins. It's incredibly easy to see why this specific spot is highly favored by couples and honeymooners looking for that perfect, serene moment under the Egyptian sun. It's picture perfect.
Section 4. A culinary world tour, feast and fun. So you can literally eat your way around the world without ever stepping foot off the Sal Hashish property. There are 6 diverse restaurants available to you. For your grand buffet-style main dining, you've got the Citadel and Kulina. If you're craving specialized flavors, you can hit up L'Asiatic for Asian cuisine, Tagine for rich Oriental dishes, or Alfredo for Italian. And for drinks and casual bites, there are multiple beach bars, that picturesque Marina Cafe we mentioned earlier, and the Columbus Cafe. The sheer variety here basically ensures you are never going to get bored of the menu during your stay.
But you know, what makes the dining here truly special isn't just the food itself, it's the environment. The majestic atmosphere, framed by those towering, hand-chiseled stone pillars and bathed in natural light, totally elevates the entire experience. It makes even a casual, quick breakfast feel like a high-end luxury event. You're dining in a literal fortress.
Which brings us to Section 5. Endless activities and entertainment.
Let's move to the amenities and see how this builds the overall experience, because the resort's infrastructure really caters to every single type of traveler. High-energy adventurers, you've got an on-site diving center, water polo, canoeing, and a state-of-the-art fitness club. Relaxation seekers can totally unwind in the spa, complete with a sauna, steam bath, and jacuzzi. Families are fully supported by the kids club and dedicated playgrounds. And when the sun finally sets, you have daily elite international performances organized by the animation team, plus vibrant nightlife at the Golden Buddha discotheque. There is always something going on. And we can't forget the more casual, laid-back recreational options, right? If you just want to get out of the midday sun for a couple of hours in the afternoon, the game room offers a perfect retreat. You've got a billiards table, ping pong, darts. It's these little everyday amenities that really make a massive resort feel like a true home away from home.
Finally, Section 6. The final honest verdict.
Let's break down exactly who this resort works best for so you can easily identify where you fit into the puzzle. For the families out there, your biggest advantages are those 3 shallow, safe sandy lagoons, the highly active kids club, and the availability of 42 spacious family rooms. For couples and honeymooners, you are absolutely going to love the 3 dedicated adult pools, the romantic and secluded Marina Cafe, and those breathtaking views from the infinity pool. And for the active explorers, the 1.6 kilometers of beach to run on, the private house reef for daily diving, and the floodlight tennis courts for evening matches make this an absolute paradise.
So the crucial point is, we don't just have to rely on our own visual tour. We can validate all this with hard data from thousands of actual paying guests. Looking at Booking.com, this property has over 7,200 reviews. It maintains a highly respectable 8.6 out of 10 overall guest rating. The food is clearly a standout highlight, pulling an exceptional 9.2 out of 10 just for the breakfast alone. Across the board, guests consistently praise the super-friendly staff attitude and the massive availability of in-house amenities. The numbers really back up the hype.
The hype is real, folks. The coral stone is genuinely hand-chiseled, and the Red Sea views are truly panoramic from every single room. We've laid out the facts, the data, and the visuals of this massive seaside kingdom. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder today. Does the reality of this rose gold fortress match your next vacation dreams? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive explainer, and keep seeking out the facts behind those beautiful photos. See you next time.